blue screen of death. I'll give you a hint. It was me, myself, and I. Baldy-in-Chief broke it. But we are back, and the Stormies are still having an attitude. Now, quick, I'm going to let this play. I'm having to set up some administrative stuff. Is what I'm doing now. We have no tornado warnings. What we do have are a number of severe thunderstorm warnings. The strongest storms, specifically a thunderstorm approaching Blooming Grove, Dawson, and Frost, is capable of producing baseball-sized hail. We have a severe thunderstorm approaching Georgetown, capable of producing golf ball-sized hail. We have a thunderstorm near Grand Saline, capable of producing hurricane-force winds of over 80 miles an hour. We have thunderstorms in the metroplex that are capable of producing at least quarter-size hail again now, if not larger. So we've just got a whole lot of stuff going on. Jason is in Grand Saline. We've got a number of chasers out and about. So, let's deal with this. Couple notes. We do have live storm chasing video on the Texas Storm Chasers YouTube channel, on the Texas Storm Chasers mobile app, and on the Texas Storm Chasers website. Focus on the hail. All right, we're going to fix this. Let me press a couple buttons here. Sorry, I'm still getting myself mostly set back up. I had a blue screen of death failure because I broke it. But we're back. All right. I'm going to press some buttons here. Let's go west to east. Severe thunderstorm. East side, southeast sides of Grand Prairie. About to move over Joe Pool Lake towards Duncanville, Cedar Hill State Park down 1382. Moving towards south side to Duncanville, DeSoto, Glen Heights again. This thunderstorm could have golf ball size hail, at least. And again, the hail core is coming back up on that. So this could have golf ball size hail. And the hail core continues to intensify. So heads up, Duncanville, Cedar Hill, Grand Prairie, Joe Pool Lake, hailer. Out here, we have a severe thunderstorm approaching Grand Saline, capable of producing 70-plus mile-per-hour winds, the potential for quarter-size hail. If I were to switch on over to this, live streams from our storm chasers. Meteorologist Jason Cooley in Grand Saline. We've got storm chasers Adam Lucio, Chelsea Burnett, Stephen Jones, and meteorologist Trey Greenwood. Hail core over Joe Pool Lake is really coming up. Joe Pool Lake, you need to get ready for what it's worth. This thing, I've been saying golf ball size hail. If it continues to squeeze up, we may be talking about baseball size hail in about 15 minutes or less. Joe Pool Lake, the potential for golf ball to baseball size hail increasing with this thunderstorm developing a very angry core. We'll switch over. You can see the core intensifying over Joe Pool Lake, the north sides into southeast Grand Prairie, about to move over Joe Pool Lake into Cedar Hill. The potential for golf ball to baseball size hail increasing now with this intense thunderstorm moving southeast at 15 to 20 miles an hour from near northwest side to Joe Pool Lake in South Grand Prairie towards Cedar Hill, Lake Ridge, Mount Lebanon Camp. We've got this storm over Grand Saline, 60 to 70 mile an hour winds, the potential for quarter-size hail. That's the storm chasing video you're watching there. Back to the radar. Other storms across North Texas. We've got one southwest of Corsicana. This put down baseball-size hail in Blooming Grove. We were talking about that about 30 minutes ago, how the hail core looked intense. Weather Service had it warned for golf balls. We were saying baseballs. Hey, baseballs. We've got storms down in portions of central Texas, moving towards the western Brazos Valley. One severe storm from near Holland and Rogers, moving southeast at about 25 to 30. You can see on the how hard the wind's blowing mode. We've got winds 60 to 70 miles an hour, certainly enough to cause some fence damage, knock down some tree limbs, cause power outages. We've got another severe storm in Georgetown. That could have golf ball to baseball size hail. In the city of Georgetown, the potential for golf ball to tennis ball, maybe even baseball size hail increasing now in Georgetown, moving down I-35 towards Cedar Park, probably just east of Cedar Park, moving towards Round Rock, Pflugerville, Hutto, Manor, and eventually the city of Austin. A destructive hailstorm, the potential for golf ball to tennis ball to baseball size hail over the next 15 minutes with this dangerous supercell moving south at 20 to 25 miles per hour. And again, radar estimating this actually has softballs aloft. By the time those reach the surface, they're probably going to melt down towards tennis balls, maybe baseballs. But again, this thunderstorm, a dangerous thunderstorm capable of producing damaging to destructive hail, as it moves southeast into Georgetown, Round Rock, Pflugerville, and by about 9:30, perhaps, the city of Austin. Be ready for a destructive, damaging hailstorm. Further west, we've got a severe thunderstorm on Highway 290 west of Fredericksburg, moving towards Kerrville and Comfort. That thunderstorm, quarter to ping pong ball size hail, winds of 60 miles an hour. Thunderstorm over Cedar Hill, moving towards Cedar Hill. North side of Joe Pool Lake could have golf ball to tennis ball size hail. The potential for... Woo! Look at that. Someone on the lake is having a bad day. That is right over Joe Pool Lake, just southeast of the state park where they do prairie lights every year. Probably baseball-sized hail plummeting into the north side of Joe Pool Lake right now, very near or just southeast of Lake Ridge Park there, where they do the prairie lights every year. Moving southeast towards Cedar Hill. If you're in Cedar Hill State Park, Joe Pool Dam on the east side there. Camp Wisdom parallels the lake, the dam on the north side. You've got Cedar Hill State Park just south of there that goes 1382. Y'all probably going to be getting some damaging hail the next few minutes. Eventually, this is going to move right into Cedar Hill. The potential for tennis ball size hail. Winds 60 plus miles an hour. Destructive hail. Moving southeast to 25 miles an hour. We've got storm chasers in Grand Saline. This storm, 60 to 70 mile an hour winds. The potential for 60 to 70 mile an hour winds. And some hail and heavy rain. We're going to have more storms fire up in North Texas throughout the night. Some could have hail. If we're talking about a storm near you, that's not good news. We're not talking about a storm near you, that's good news. You can track storms near you, interactive weather radar on our website, texasstormchasers.com. For those of you asking about, are you going to have storms in your specific community tonight? Understand, we've got thousands of people watching right now. I can't answer every one of those questions. I'm going to do my best to update each storm as we go, but the answer to those of you in the metroplex, yes, you could have more storms tonight, and yes, they could have hail and wind. You can track storms near you with the free Texas Storm Chasers interactive weather radar on our website, texasstormchasers.com/radar. Or better yet, download the free Texas Storm Chasers mobile app. Over 50,000 of you have, and you seem to enjoy it. You can watch this live coverage, storm chasing video under the video tab, interactive weather radars. Interactive weather radar 1 is the radar tab. Interactive radar 2 is under the more tab. Zoom radar, that's the second radar. And we've also got your local weather forecast. You can get your forecast down to your neighborhood level, just like you would in other popular weather apps, except you can try ours out and see how you like it for a little Texas flyer. All right, down here into areas from Buckholz, east of Bartlett, east of Holland, east of Granger. Y'all have not had a good year. When I can remember talking about your community like 5 different times in a given year, y'all have not had a good year. 254 counties in Texas. If I can remember having to cover y'all more than 5 times, y'all have got a bad year. Bad year. All right, Granger radar showing winds 80 miles an hour, and the Granger radar is this little donut circle of shame where nothing's showing up. So we're literally looking probably, I'll tell you, we're looking 500 feet above the ground. 800, sweet Mama May. 80 mile an hour winds means there's probably 80 mile an hour winds right there. With the radar being so close. So again, destructive hurricane force winds now just east of Holland, just east of Bartlett, moving south towards Granger, the Granger radar, eventually Thorndale, Thrale, and Tyler on Highway 79. We've got a storm capable of producing golf ball to tennis ball size hail in Georgetown, moving southeast at about 25 miles an hour. Also now seeing indications of winds over 75 miles an hour. So who doesn't like wind-driven tennis ball size hail? You get your tennis ball size hail driven by hurricane force winds? Let me tell you, you want to talk about a bad day, that's a bad day. And this is moving right into the city of Round Rock over the next 15 minutes. And we thank y'all for all your reports. We definitely appreciate them. We're keeping an eye out for them. Typically, we used to pass them on to the Weather Service and the various integrated warning teams, emergency management, other media stations, and NWS chat, but we got moved after 10 years because we don't qualify because we have storm chasers in our name. And, we do this live coverage online for y'all, and apparently that means we're renegades. So, and that's from the national side of things. I'm not blaming any of the local Texas Weather Service offices. They all have great meteorologists, but National laid down a new policy and we got shunned. So, hey, you know what? If everyone else doesn't want to know about your reports, we do. And we're going to do our best to share them with y'all. We're working towards some new methods of doing that down the road where we'll be able to more easily embed the pictures and videos you send us into our real-time coverage so y'all can literally see what's going on in your backyard besides just our storm chasing video and our weather radars. So, you know what? We used to like being able to provide those reports for everyone to see and, to keep everyone on the same page, other TV stations, media outlets, the emergency managers, the Weather Service, but unfortunately, we are no longer able to do that. And if you can't tell, I'm kind of pissed off about it still. But you know what? That's okay. You know what? Life throws you lemons. You just have to make lemonade. So, Round Rock, you have the potential for tennis ball to baseball size hail in the next 10 minutes. Pflugerville, 15 to 20 minutes. The city of Austin, by 9:45 p.m. Again, the potential for golf ball, tennis ball, can't even rule out baseball size hail. It looks like at this point, we're just seeing reports of quarter to $half size hail. But aloft, this thing's throwing softballs aloft at 40,000 feet. If it keeps doing that, some of these storms are going to be making, some of those hailstones are going to be making their way down to the surface. And again, up here in the DFW Metroplex, we've got a severe thunderstorm over Joe Pool Lake, now moving over Cedar Hill State Park. It's going to be moving southeast, about 20 to 25 miles an hour. The potential for quarter to golf ball size hail at least. This thunderstorm showing indications it may have had tennis ball to baseball size hail over the north sides of Joe Pool Lake about 5 minutes ago, just east of Lake Ridge Park where they do prairie lights every year. Hail core is coming down just a little bit aloft now. And remember, for what the radar shows aloft at, 40, 50,000 feet, it usually takes a good 10 to 15 minutes for that to actually reach the ground once it starts throwing that kind of hail aloft. So remember, what goes up must eventually come down. And in this case, about 10 minutes ago, we probably had baseball-sized hail falling over Joe Pool Lake, the north side, just east of Lake Ridge Park there, where they do the prairie lights. Now we've probably got some nasty hail falling over Cedar Hill State Park off 1382, moving towards the mall there. Off, is that Joe Wilson? That might be Joe Wilson. Otherwise, Cedar Hill, Old Cedar Hill there in the downtown, you're probably getting quarter to golf ball size hail right now, maybe just a bit bigger than that. And eventually this is going to be moving over 67, Beltline Road, 1382 there at the high school, a little further south, and then moving towards Ovilla, Glen Heights. Y'all got clobbered by golf ball to tennis ball size hail about an hour and a half ago, and now you're dealing with this. We've got severe storms in portions of East Texas, and I'd be neglected to say hello to our folks at DFW Scanner, who I popped on just a minute ago. We're going to be talking about all these storms. So those of you on DFW Scanner, yes, we're talking about storms in the Metroplex, but we're also focusing on other storms. This is David-Reimer at Texas Storm Chasers. So we cover Texas, but when we have issues in the Metroplex, we also like to pop on the DFW Scanner. And that's what we're doing. We've got a complex of storms capable of producing 60 to 70 mile-an-hour winds, quarter-size hail from near Grand Saline east to Mineola. These are moving southeast towards Van, Lindale, Edom, Brownsboro, Chandler, the city of Tyler. Eventually going to be making their way down to also places like Noonday, Flint, and White House, Redland. These storms, not as organized as they were a bit earlier, but there's plenty of them. Could have a lot of cloud-to-ground lightning, strong winds of 60 to 70 miles an hour, the potential for quarter to ping-pong ball size hail. And again, this complex of storms moving southeast at 30 miles an hour. So Tyler, you're going to be getting in on it in the next 30 to 45 minutes. Just got a report of baseball size hail in Georgetown in central Texas. So again, that makes sense based off what we were talking about a few minutes ago. Back quickly, the Metroplex, new storm going up over east sides of Arlington, southwest Grand Prairie again. This is going to be a thing all evening. We're probably going to have more storms even closer to the Red River here around midnight or thereafter. These storms in North Texas, we're going to have multiple rounds. We're not done. So it's going to be a stormy night. Severe storm now over Cedar Hill, moving southeast at about 20 miles an hour. Over 67, we're probably getting quarter to golf ball size hail, could even be a bit larger than that. The potential for that to cause hail damage, moving southeast into Ovilla and Glen Heights by 9:05 to 9:10 p.m. Red Oak by 9:20 to 9:25. Near or north of the city of Waxahachie in the rural area between Red Oak and Waxahachie by 9:35 p.m. I guess it used to be rural. I don't know how rural it is now with all the new development, but we've got a severe storm now that dropped baseball-sized hail in Blooming Grove about 20 to 30 minutes ago. Now southwest of Corsicana, southwest of Richland, moving towards Wortham. Going to be in Wortham by about 9:30 to 9:35 p.m. Probably staying just northeast of Mahia, unless it turns more to the south. That could have at least golf ball-sized hail. Back into central Texas, we've got baseball-sized hail reported in Georgetown. This thunderstorm moving southeast now into the city of Round Rock. Baseball-sized hail, that is 2 3/4 inches in diameter. Those of you in Round Rock, move away from windows. Put as many walls between you and the outside as possible, but get away from windows, especially north-facing windows. The potential for baseball to perhaps softball-sized hail moving south from Georgetown into Round Rock. We also have indications of 60 to 70 mile-an-hour winds, and those winds could be propelling some of that destructive hail. We've got, and again, that's moving south into Round Rock towards Pflugerville, Manor, and eventually the city of Austin in Travis County. Austin by 9:30 to 9:40 p.m. Pflugerville the next 10 to 15 minutes. Manor to Austin, 9:30 to 9:40, back west. We've got a severe storm approaching Fredericksburg. This could eventually impact Kerrville or just southeast of Kerrville to Comfort. The potential for 60 to 70 mile-an-hour winds, quarter to ping-pong ball size hail. And every thunderstorm tonight is going to be dropping enough lightning to wake half the dead. Let me tell you, these things have electricity. We have a summertime air mass in place with crash of the cold front. Let me tell you, the atmosphere is plenty unstable, and that's why we're seeing so much lightning tonight. So again, we're getting reports of quarter to golf ball and at least one unverified report of baseball size hail in Georgetown. I don't know where that report came from. It might have been in NWS chat, which we don't have access to anymore, because apparently we don't qualify as a digital media entity, even though our reach combined with DFW Scanner's reach is probably more than most of the media outlets in the state of Texas. But I digress, and I won't throw a tantrum. Again, that's after 9 o'clock, and it's not 9 o'clock yet. One tantrum an hour is all I'm going to reserve for myself. Severe thunderstorm now over 67 in Cedar Hill, moving towards West DeSoto. This could have golf ball size hail at least. Strong winds, 50 to 65 miles an hour. And again, this storm moving southeast into Cedar Hill, Ovilla, Glen Heights, DeSoto over the next several minutes. Also have a new thunderstorm going up over 360, over 180 Division Street there, where the old Six Flags Mall used to be, just southwest of Jerry World, the ballpark, Six Flags itself. That's going to be moving southeast towards Interstate 20, Great Southwest Parkway, Carrier, Breslin, George Bush Turnpike. At this point, this storm, heavy rain, maybe some pea-sized hail, cloud-to-ground lightning, nothing with that. The person who just asked about Mahia, no, you were directly in line from this thunderstorm that has a history of producing baseball-sized hail. It still could be producing golf ball-sized hail at least. Okie dokie, let's take a quick look again at the storms from near Quinlan, down 69 to Mineola and Lindale. And again, we got we use some vernacular here. We have several severe thunderstorms capable of producing quarter-size hail, 60 to 70 mile-an-hour winds. We're seeing a lot of heavy rain here that could start causing some street flooding. Just got a report from meteorologist Jason Cooley. We have numerous trees down in Grand Saline from this first storm, and power's out across Grand Saline. Not a surprise. These storms have a lot of wind, a lot of heavy rain. Grand Saline, you're going to get another severe storm in the next hour, so you're not done yet. Again, we appreciate all y'all sending in your reports via the chats on X. We appreciate it. So again, this cluster of storms is going to be making its way further southeast tonight into East Texas. Tyler, Chandler, you're going to have some strong winds here, some hail and some heavy rain in the next several minutes. Now, good news for Cedar Hill and DeSoto. This severe storm, the hail core loft, is starting to weaken. Now getting indications of maybe some quarter to ping pong ball size hail. I think this probably dropped baseball size hail over the north side of Joe Pool Lake in the lake about 15 minutes ago. Just east of Lake Ridge Park, where they do prairie lights every year. The hail core is weakening pretty quick now, so that is good news. But there will be more storms tonight, and those storms could have hail, strong winds, and heavy rain, like this one going up over 360 in Interstate 20 right now. So DFW, you're not done yet. Expect more storms to develop this evening and overnight, some of which may have large hail and damaging winds, and we could see some street flooding for sure. So those of you on DFW Scanner, that is your update. We're going to keep going now on the Texas Storm Chasers platforms. Feel free to join us there if you wish. John Bergdorf will definitely be keeping y'all updated on DFW Scanner, and if we need to, we'll come on back over there. All right, let's continue on. Let's go back to Central Texas. A destructive hailstorm now from Georgetown to Round Rock. The potential for baseball-sized hail. We've had numerous reports of damaging hail at this point. This thunderstorm over the city of Round Rock, moving south at 20 to 30 miles an hour. Weather Service has warned it now for baseball-sized hail and 60-mile-an-hour winds. Those of you on Round Rock, you're getting it right now. Pflugerville, you're going to get it in the next 10 to 15 minutes. Austin, city of Austin, if this storm persists, 940 to 950, the potential for baseball-sized hail. Winds of 60 miles an hour, cloud-to-ground lightning, destructive straight-line winds. And by the way, if you're wondering if we're done with storms, no. Because we've got storms going up closer to the front, which is still in northwest Texas and the southern Oklahoma. We've got a supercell northwest of the city of Paducah moving southeast towards Paducah. This storm could have at least golf ball-sized hail, if not tennis ball-sized hail. Probably going to pass near or west of Paducah, on Highway 62. And again, big hail. We're going to have more storms tonight. Southern Oklahoma, Texoma. That'll move into the metroplex a bit later on. All right, let's continue. My apologies. All right. And again, we have no tornado warnings. This is not a tornado kind of night. This is a lot of hail and a lot of wind and rain and lightning and houses getting set on fire from lightning night, but not a tornado night. Not totally zero tornado risk, but it's not something I'm super duper uber concerned about. All right. Let's get back to it. Cluster 1 severe storm now on and east side of Cedar Hill, moving into DeSoto, Glen Heights. Could have quarter-size hail. Hail threat with that's come down quite a bit for now. More storms going up. One over West Dallas at Loop 12 and 30. One right over the Georgia Bush Turnpike and I-20 moving east-southeast. Fix this real quick. And again, we're going to be here. Did they just warn that for softballs? Okay, we need to go back down here. A particularly dangerous situation. I don't know who just reported that. See, this is really why it would have been nice to not get kicked out of NWS chat, because we're a digital media entity, since, you know, we only have a reach of about 1.5 million. And this isn't the Weather Service in Texas issue. It's after 9 o'clock. I'm throwing another tantrum. Mind you, this is not an issue with any of the local Weather Service offices in Texas. We love them. This is a national policy. They need to modernize the fact and realize that, hey, it's 2023. I don't need to have a physical TV antenna to have a presence and to do severe weather coverage and be considered legitimate. We did virtual operations support for 10 stinking years. And the fact nationals suddenly decided, oh, you're not media, you're on the internet. Yeah, guess what? We've been doing it longer than most second contract broadcast meteorologists. We've been doing it since second contract broadcast meteorologists were in middle school. That's a load of horse manure. And let me tell you, National's going to get it when I end up having to fly out there to Silver Springs. I'm going to meet with someone and talk about this because I am PO'd. And let me tell you, that's doing a disadvantage to y'all who watch this, because we were able to use that tool as a way to maintain situational awareness. And, you know, we're not just storm chasers going out about being like, oh, I'm a storm chaser. No. Do I look like I'm storm chasing? Do I ever sit in this office and get to go out, or do I ever get to go out storm chasing? No, I get to go twice a year because I have chosen to dedicate myself to sitting in this room and giving y'all severe weather information while our team of well-qualified storm chasers and degree meteorologists, mind you, are out storm chasing, bringing you the video, bringing you the reports. And we share y'all's reports that you send us. We used to send those in that internal chat room and share them with the integrated warning teams. But oh well. All right, tantrum over. The thunderstorm over portions of Travis County moving towards the city of Austin is now warned for softball-size hail and winds of 60 miles an hour. So apparently, there has either been a report, which I don't know of because I haven't seen any reports of that issued yet. Whatever, baseball to softball-size hail possible right now in the city of Round Rock. Moving south into Pflugerville. Manor, the city of Austin, over the next 30 minutes. This storm moving south at about, I'm going to say 20 to 25 miles an hour. Maybe a little slower. Destructive hailstorm has occurred in Georgetown, moving south into Round Rock. Again, all these are hail reports. Baseball-size hail report, 3 north of Round Rock at 8:54. Makes sense. So again, Round Rock, Pflugerville, baseball to softball size hail. Softball size hail is what we consider to be giant hail. 4 inches in diameter. Moving south In Round Rock, the potential for also 60 to 70 mile an hour winds. Pflugerville in the next 10 to 20 minutes, if not sooner. The city of Austin by 9:50 p.m. Severe thunderstorm just east of Kerrville, southwest of Fredericksburg, moving southeast towards Comfort. 60 to 70 mile an hour winds. The potential for pocket change to golf ball size hail. Back up here. Severe thunderstorm now east of Cedar Hill, DeSoto to Glen Heights, moving east-southeast at about 25 miles an hour. Potential for quarter to golf ball size hail, winds of 60 to 65 miles an hour. Places that got hit by big hail about an hour and a half ago. Glen Heights, Ovilla, moving into Red Oak, Pecan Hill, north sides of Waxahachie over the next 15 to 20 minutes. Thereafter, could be near Palmer, 9:45, Garrett by 10, Ennis by about 9:55, Garrett. Let's go back to about 9:50. Areas just northeast of Waxahachie in the next 25 minutes. The hail core with this aloft is increasing again for what it's worth. So again, quarter to golf ball size hail, winds of 60 to 70 miles per hour. As this storm moves southeast. Real quick, I need to adjust that. Grand Saline has a lot of wind damage, let me tell you. We've got storms across portions of western Dallas County. Irving down to Grand Prairie to Duncanville, Cockrell Hill. Those not severe at this point, but they might have some pea to dime size hail, localized winds of 40 to 50 miles an hour, heavy rainfall, quite a bit of lightning. And again, we're going to have more storms going up this evening in Texoma, North Texas, and even parts of Northwest Texas. And those are going to move southeast too. So y'all are not done yet. A severe thunderstorm now capable of producing baseball to softball size hail. About 8 miles northwest of Paducah, Texas, moving southeast at 30. Baseball to softball size hail. This could be approaching Paducah by 9:25 to 9:30 p.m. and is moving southeast at 30 miles an hour. Paducah, if you get lucky, the worst of the hail will stay just to your west. This is just southwest of CV now. Should be passing just east of Narciso. But Paducah, get ready for baseball to softball size hail as this moves southeast at 30 miles an hour. We're getting reports of numerous power flashes around Round Rock. That could either be because we're getting baseball to softball size hail hitting things and breaking it, or it could also be we've got 60 to 70 mile an hour winds. We have no tornadoes, but this is a dangerous situation with the potential for wind-driven baseball to softball size hail in the city of Round Rock, moving towards Pflugerville, Manor, the city of Austin, especially the north sides of Austin, over the next 30 minutes. Destructive hail. So those of you in Manor to Austin, if you can, get your vehicle under something. Pflugerville, you're about out of time, so I wouldn't risk going outside and getting bopped on the head by baseball to softball size hail. And Round Rock, y'all are just getting slammed with it right now. Georgetown, you're clear. I'm not going to say you're done with storms tonight. You might get more storms, but you're clear for now. We have 60 to 70 mile an hour winds east of Granger, just northwest of Rockdale, north of Thorndale, northeast of Thrale, moving southeast at about, moving south, at about 15 to 20 miles an hour. We've got storms across portions of East Texas. These storms, Mineola down to Lindale on 69. Moving towards the city of Tyler, we could have winds of 60 to 70 miles an hour. Maybe some quarter-size hail. These definitely don't have the hail cores that we're seeing further west, but they do have a lot of wind with them. We're seeing a pretty good hail core, for example, right now near McCoy, northwest of Wills Point, northeast of Terrell. That could have some quarter-size hail with it at least. I'm going to actually change some of these. You're going to see a lot more of these towns pop up. You see the core east of Midlothian, north of Waxahachie, near Glen Heights is perking up aloft. This storm, southwest sides of Red Oak, Ovilla, north sides of Waxahachie, about to cross over Interstate 35, moving southeast At about probably 25 miles an hour, could have quarter to golf ball size hail with it. Crossing over 35 Echo, moving southeast. This is probably going to stay just north of downtown Waxahachie, but it's going to be close, making a beeline towards the city of Ennis to Bardwell. This will be crossing over 287 near Ennis, probably by 9:45 to 9:50. The strong winds may arrive before that. Bardwell by about 9:55 to 10. And again, this is going to be a close call for Waxahachie. If this starts turning more to the south, like the latest storm track just indicated, yeah, Waxahachie, this thing's building more to the southwest. Waxahachie, get ready for the potential for at least golf ball size hail. We may end up having hail bigger than that. And again, 287, you're not going to want to be on 287 between 35E and 45 as this storm comes on through that hail core. Definitely perking up again as it moves to the southeast at about 25 to 30 miles an hour, but it may be trying to turn more to the south-southeast. All right. Oh, where is my hairbrush? I don't know, because I don't need one. That's why I'm Baldy-in-Chief. Sorry, I had a VeggieTales throwback a moment. What was that? Paducah storm report. 59 mile an hour wind gust, okay. Yeah, those of you in Waxahachie, you might want to get your cars under something, because that hail core is nasty looking. Anyway, back south, Round Rock. I am hoping this hail core is starting to calm itself down a little bit, and it is. Not as much of a hail core loft with this now, so hopefully we're starting to knock these hail sizes down a bit. Nevertheless, we're getting hail in Round Rock right now. We've got hail moving into Pflugerville in the next several minutes, and then eventually this is going to be moving into places like Austin, down towards Manor. But while the hail core looks like it was calming down, it's starting to build a new one aloft. I'm going to switch on a button here that takes all the radar beams versus just the one lowest to the ground and gives us a better look. Now you can see what I mean by hail core loft. This includes all the radar beams, so you're looking from the ground all the way up to 60,000 feet. There's your hail core. Notice how that hail core is actually further south aloft. That's the wind shear blowing the updraft of the storm further southeast, but this is what it looks like closest to the surface. I wouldn't be shocked if those of you around Pflugerville are hearing what we call a hail roar. All the hailstones, thousands of feet above your head just getting knocked against each other. Here's the latest radar scan. You can see hail falling now on Interstate 35, Round Rock all the way now to Pflugerville. Could have winds of 60 to 70 miles an hour with this storm as we take a throwback to the 70s. Excuse me. And again, this storm still maintaining what we call a well-defined overhang. This thunderstorm showing indications of having a very potent hail core loft and has had a history of producing baseball-sized hail, is capable of producing softball-sized hail. So those of you in Pflugerville, Wells Branch, Windmere, McNeil, to the Austin city limits and Manor, be ready. The potential for softball-sized hail as this destructive thunderstorm moves south at 20 miles an hour. All right? So your phones are probably going, because softball-sized hail sets off the wireless emergency alerts. And honestly, most municipalities are probably blowing their sirens, and rightfully so. They're called outdoor warning sirens for a reason. They're meant to warn those outdoors. Softball-sized hail is a pretty life-threatening hazard to those outdoors, and even those indoors if you're near a window, so sirens should be getting blown. Thorndale, Rockdale, Buckholtz, the potential for 60-mile-an-hour winds. We could also have some quarter to about quarter-size hail with that. That's not much of a hailer, but it has wind. Severe storm back southwest approaching Comfort. Could have quarter to ping-pong ball-size hail. Winds of 60 to 70 miles an hour. That storm moving southeast. at about 20 miles an hour. Comfort, and eventually make it down towards near Bernie. And notice more storms going up south of Mason, back northeast to Junction. All right, back up here into central Texas. We've got a severe thunderstorm approaching Mahia over Highway 14 right now near Wortham. Not as impressive looking as it was earlier, but we could still have quarter to ping pong ball size hail. Winds of 50 to 60 miles an hour as this thunderstorm moves southeast at about 35 miles an hour. One of the faster moving ones we've seen tonight. All right, back into East Texas. We've got a cluster of severe storms from near Quinlan and Wills Point all the way east through Emory, Quitman, Mineola, Grand Saline, Van, Lindale. These have a history of producing winds of 60 to 75 miles an hour, quarter-size hail. The potential for storms to continue moving southeast at about 30. A lot of rain, a lot of lightning, strong winds, hail. And again, Canton, Edam, Chandler, Tyler, probably even Athens down the road. Y'all are in line for that. Severe storm now approaching the city of Waxahachie, showing a very unhappy hail core. Aloft, the radar thinks this thing has baseball to softball size hail. By the time you get down to the surface, right now, it's probably golf ball size hail. But again, nasty, nasty storm. We'll turn on the live composite, which gives us a look at the entire, all the layers of the storm. And you can see nasty hail core aloft about to move into Waxahachie, ride down 287 towards Bardwell. May stay just west of Ennis. It's starting to turn more to the south, but if not, it's going to make it into Ennis sooner rather than later. And again, you can see as we get each new radar scan aloft, it's showing those radar, or the update. We've got storms from near Irving, southeast through Cockrell Hill, West Dallas, moving towards downtown Dallas, back west of Grand Prairie. These are not severe at this point. They have heavy rainfall, maybe some pea to dime size hail. Those are moving more to the east. Cloud to ground lightning, that'll probably do their best to set as many houses on fire as possible, since that seems to be what these do in DFW. And again, that's probably going to make for even more fun if you're flying in or out of Love Field or DFW. I do not envy the air ops tonight. Severe storm capable of producing baseball-size hail moving into Paducah now, back west on Highway 62. Could also have 60-plus mile-an-hour winds. All right. Let's go back down to central Texas. And again, our biggest issue in terms of population right now is this storm from Round Rock to Pflugerville, capable of baseball-size hail as it moves south at about 25 miles an hour. This storm likely set off the wireless emergency alerts, which is your phone going, oh, you can't hear me. I'm sorry. You know what? My noise filtering's too good. That's not acceptable. Y'all need to be able to hear my obnoxious noises. So give me just a second. Let me turn off the fancy noise canceling stuff, and you'll hear the little fan I have going behind me. Now. There you go. Your phone's probably made that noise. And most municipalities down here are probably blowing the sirens if they've got them, because it's warned for softball size hail. So again, the potential 60 to 70 mile an hour winds now. In Jollyville, McNeil, Wells Branch, south sides of Round Rock to Pflugerville, moving south down the interstate towards north sides of Austin. Thank you, Jason. I have the fancy, super duper awesome blossom noise canceling on, so I just had to turn that off for a second to make sure y'all could hear my obnoxious noises. Well, if Jason can hear me, that means he probably heard my rant about 17 minutes ago, which probably means I'm not going to get a cookie now. Probably means I'm going to get hit on the head with a mallet, which I can do because I have a mallet. Hey, look, I hit myself on the head with a mallet. That's what happens when you have too much caffeine. All right, so again, what we're dealing with tonight, in fact, let's just do this. Let's turn on the regional radars. Let me turn off that because it's nighttime and you're not going to see anything with the visible spectrum satellite. Here's what we've got. We got a whole lot of storms producing a whole lot of hail and a whole lot of wind. Strongest storms. One, the one near Paducah, northwest Texas. One Round Rock to Pflugerville, both capable of baseball-size hail. Most other storms tonight could produce pocket change-size hail. Nickels, or let's do small at the top. Dime, nickel, quarter, $half, that kind of stuff. Stronger storms, golf balls, tennis balls, baseballs. Also seeing a lot of wind. 40, 50, 60, even 70, sometimes 80-mile-an-hour winds. Wind threat, going to be strongest or highest with these larger type cluster storms. We're probably going to see more storms pop up along the Red River this evening. In fact, I'm going to look at the high-res rapid refresh model off screen real quick. Jason, your stream just went out, and it's back. I thought he got struck by lightning for a second. I was concerned. All right, let's look at this. Is it? Yeah, we're going to keep having storms fire up in the metroplex probably through about 3 to 4 a.m. So that'll be the best chance in the DFW metroplex, where they've been popping up for the last few hours. It's going to keep on going through like 4 a.m. And then we're going to have a cluster of storms eventually make it down into the Brazos Valley late tonight, tomorrow morning. More hail, more wind into southeast Texas and then the coastal plains by about 9 to 10 a.m. So that's going to be this stuff starting to fire up again in DFW. I'm going to make it down to southeast Texas tomorrow morning. So we're going to have storms. We're probably going to have severe thunderstorm warnings in the state through 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. All right. So again, storms, generally speaking, moving south or southeast at about 15 to 35 miles an hour. Yes, Houston's going to get storms in the morning. And for what it's worth, we do have live streaming storm chase video. Meteorologist Jason Cooley is in Wills Point. Let me make sure their radar is up to date. He's about to get in some hail, some wind. You can watch their live storm chasing video, by the way, on our website, TexasStormChasers.com. You can watch it in the Texas Storm Chasers mobile app if you click on the videos tab. And you can watch it directly on our YouTube channel, Texas Storm Chasers. It's the one with 138 to 139,000 subscribers. And we would love it if y'all would subscribe to us on YouTube, Texas Storm Chasers, storm chasing video. Those of you on YouTube, hit us up, Texas Weather Center on YouTube. That's where we do the daily Texas weather roundups. We also do live severe weather coverage, which is how you might be watching this right now. All right. Jason's just getting clobbered right now. You can see a lot of rain, a lot of wind, some hail. Thank you for that, Barbara. Definitely appreciate it. Thank you to all those, by the way, who have been sending in. There, we'll actually switch to the right source for that. No, maybe not. Woo! Was that a lightning strike right there? Oh, that was scary. We'll go back to that in a second. I want to do this with camera. Thank you to all those who have been sending in super chats, stickers, stars. I don't usually keep an eye on that in real time. I need to. You know, if I was a good streamer like gamers, I would, but typically I'm busy trying to maintain situational awareness, even more so now that the National Weather Service, the national folks, not the Texas folks, have made that job even more difficult. Go back to about 23 minutes ago if you want to hear that rant and story. But thank you to all those who have been sending those in. We do go back after the fact and look, and we try to thank you all, and we appreciate it. But let me take the moment now. Thank you. It is appreciated. Now, let's switch back to Jason's cam real quick, see if he's getting hit with hail yet. If it's not a broken window, it's not a good hailstorm for Jason. Again, they're located in Wills Point, which is in eastern North Texas / East Texas. They're on 180 or 80. East of Elmo, west of Grand Saline, northwest of Canton. With this storm moving south-southeast, whatever happens here is moving towards Myrtle Springs and Cameron, or Myrtle Springs and Canton. It's a day. We thank you for all your hail reports, all your reports that you send in via chats on X. We'll switch back over here, and you can watch Jason's. Let me actually, you know what? If we just have one chaser on, let me see if we can get this to work. That's not Adam. All right. I'm going to work on this layout after this. Nope. It's Monday. It's not a Monday, but it feels like a Monday. All right, I can fix that. Maybe, maybe not. There we go. No, bad. Okay, there we go. Sorry. It's a Monday. It's not a Monday, but I'm not having great luck with this. So that's Jason's stream. All right, so coming up to 9:29, I'm Texas Storm Chasers Baldy-in-Chief David-Reimer. We're monitoring multiple severe thunderstorms this evening across, well, let's just start listing them. The Arklatex, North Texas, Central Texas, moving into the Brazos Valley, back west into the Hill Country, and a lonesome little soupy near Paducah in northwest Texas that didn't want to be left all alone, but got left all alone, so it started dropping baseball-sized hail as part of its temper tantrum. Got meteorologist Jason Cooley's live stream there. We had great live streams from Adam Lucio, Chelsea Burnett, Stephen Jones, meteorologist Trey Greenwood a bit earlier. We'll keep an eye on that. We note the potential for these storms from near Quitman to Mineola to Lindale to Redland to produce 70-mile-an-hour winds as they move towards Gilmer, Pritchett, Hawkins, Big Sandy, Winona, Owentown. And, of course, Tyler. We've got a storm now over Waxahachie. Capable of producing quarter to tennis ball size hail. Looks like we had 2.25-inch diameter hail reported in Red Oak with this storm. So those of you in Waxahachie, over to Palmer, but mostly Waxahachie, be ready for that. We'll switch back over to the high-res radar. You can see hail core over Waxahachie right now. How to report. Oh, that's earlier. Okay, well. Derp-a-derp! Nevertheless, the potential for this storm to still produce quarter to golf ball size hail in the city of Waxahachie, moving southeast at about 25 miles an hour towards Bardwell. This may stay just west of Ennis. They're getting a lot of wind right now near Wills Point, where Jason is, I believe. You can see a lot of wind. Small hail. Got reports of baseballs on Interstate 35 around Round Rock from earlier. That's moving towards Austin. Watch Jason's stream there. We've also got Jason's stream on the Texas Storm Chasers YouTube channel and in the Texas Storm Chasers mobile app website. So again, Bardwell, the potential for quarter to tennis ball size hail by 9:50. Back into central Texas, severe storm with a history of producing baseball-sized hail from Georgetown to Round Rock to Pflugerville, now moving south into the city of Austin. The potential for hail to be the size of baseballs to 3 inches in diameter. Areas along Interstate 35 from Wells Branch to the north and east sides of the city of Austin. You need to take severe weather safety precautions. Get away from windows. Do not get your vehicles to a safe spot if it's safe to do so, but don't do it while the hail's falling. We don't need folks getting hurt by broken glass or, God forbid, a hailstone hitting them on top of the head. You want to know what a baseball-sized hailstone falling out of the sky at 100 miles an hour would do to your skull? Throw a cantaloupe out a third-story window and see what happens. You'll get the same results, but the cantaloupe's a little less messy. So again, those of you in the city of Austin, especially the north and east sides of Austin, the potential for baseball to softball size hail in the next 20 minutes. It's going to break windows. It is going to be expensive, and it is not going to be good. Georgetown to Round Rock to Pflugerville. Not good. All right. Severe storm, the potential for 60-mile-an-hour winds with this storm near Thorndale to Rockdale. Not a big hailer with this. We've got a storm near Mahia that is starting to perk back up in the hail department. There might be some quarter-size hail with that. We've got a severe storm approaching Tyler to Chandler. That'll be from noonday to White House in the next several minutes. It looks like they're thinking this might be moving more to the east now. I'll put on this. You can see here we kind of got a bow structure. Rare inflow jet there, which would push this more to the east, which is why the Weather Service in Shreveport, rightfully so, has put a severe warning out from Gilmer down to Gladwater, whatever, Liberty City to Overton, Winona. Potential for 60 to 70 mile an hour winds with that little Bowie structure. Same thing for the city of Tyler. There may also be some nickel to quarter size hail with that, but this appears to be more of a wind maker than a hail maker. Same thing for these storms from near Wills Point to Grand Saline. For what it's worth, we're also seeing quite a bit of rainfall with this. I'm going to switch to a product that lets me show rain over the last little while. Maybe. Will you please load the stinking thing? Garbage. 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 It's not what I wanted. Really? Now, what have I done to deserve this? Okay, never mind. I hate technology. All right. So again, for what it's worth, yeah, y'all in East Texas, wind, rain, probably some street flooding, lightning, power outages, metroplex, storms, Dallas up to DFW International Airport, the potential for heavy rainfall, street flooding. These storms at this point not showing much hail-wise. Could have maybe 40-mile-an-hour winds, a lot of lightning. But again, this caused some street flooding. And we'll keep an eye on them. Oh, and the lightning's probably going to set houses on fire because that's a tradition in the Metroplex. Just every house in the Metroplex finds a way to get hit by lightning. Then we've got the storm south of Waxahachie now, showing a nasty hail core aloft again. The radar thinking this has softballs aloft. At the surface, could be quarter to golf ball size hail. Moving southeast at about 25 to 30 miles an hour. Be near Blooming Grove about 10:15 p.m. Rockdale down to Pflugerville. And again, otherwise, this storm, Pflugerville to Manor, about to move in the city of Austin. A plethora of reports of just hail-related doom. I mean, just, no. I mean, we just got a report, and I'm trying to find a softball report. And it's got a report out of Round Rock of 3.7 of grapefruit-size hail. Right on Interstate 35, got a report of 4-inch diameter hail recently from Round Rock. Apparently, Jason just streamed a near head-on accident. Great! Stop it, Jason. So again, it is storms galore. Storms in North Texas, all this stuff in DFW is going to keep firing up over and over and over again until probably about 3 a.m. Some of the storms are going to have hail. All the storms are going to have cloud-to-ground lightning. Some are going to have hail. And then this storm in the moving into the city of Austin has a history of producing grapefruit to softball size hail. A lot of baseballs, winds of 60 to 70 miles an hour. It is still producing tennis ball size hail. You see this line of hail reports from Florence down through Georgetown, Round Rock, Pflugerville, Austin. Well, given inflation, it is entirely possible this alone is going to be $1 billion insurance claim disaster. And then we've got hail reports up here, so it is entirely possible we're looking at $500 million plus in hail damage claims in Texas this evening. And that's assuming it doesn't get any worse. It's going to get worse, probably. So, welcome to the fall severe weather season. I'm about as thrilled as one could be, which is not thrilled whatsoever. Looks like they put out a new severe thunderstorm warning. This is going to be a severe thunderstorm warning for tennis ball size hail, 60 mile per hour wind gusts. Severe storm Austin to Manor moving south at 20 miles an hour. This severe warning includes Weberville, DeVal, Manor, Austin, Sunset Valley, the Tesla factories, off 130. All that very expensive stuff. Creedmoor, Mustang Ridge, Wildwood, Cedar Creek, Naderwald, Red Rock, Bastrop, Upton, Hills Prairie. This storm has a history of producing baseball to softball size hail. Could still be putting down tennis ball size hail. Storm southwest of Rockdale, south of Thorndale, moving towards Lexington. Also showing indications now of an enhanced hail core. That could be quarter to ping pong ball size hail. Moving southeast at about 30 miles per hour. Storms southeast of Waxahachie. Nasty hail report southeast of Waxahachie now. Could be dropping at least quarter-size hail as that moves southeast at about 25 miles an hour, right towards areas that got hit by baseball-sized hail about an hour and a half ago, Blooming Grove. So again, this could be in Blooming Grove by 10:15 to 10:20 p.m. this evening. The potential for another round of damaging hail. All right, I'm going to switch back to the regional view. I'm going to have to go check on a dog. One of the dogs are whining, which usually isn't good. I-35 in Round Rock is slowed to a crawl, it looks like. Probably because everyone lost their windows driving in a hailstorm. Today's tip of the day, don't drive in a hailstorm. Most phones, if you had wireless emergency alerts active from Georgetown to Round Rock to Austin, should have gone off a good 30-plus minutes ago saying, big hail. That's your cue to go find shelter, not your cue to keep driving. But I'm just Baldy-in-Chief. What do I know? So hail core exiting Waxahachie. Yeah, the storm's moving more south, so this may end up being an issue for Forston to Italia. Bardwell moving right towards Merton or Blooming Grove by, again, probably 10:20. Again, back into the city of Austin, we've got a storm. Cape has a history of producing baseball to softball size hail, still remains capable of producing golf ball to tennis ball size hail, moving south at about 20 miles an hour. You could see all those hail reports coming in. Those are hail reports. Further west, we've got storms from now southwest of Mason to, well, pretty much northwest of Fredericksburg to Comfort, moving southeast at about 20 to 30 miles an hour. These storms at times producing quarter to golf ball size hail, winds of 50 to 65 miles per hour. And again, these storms we have in the metroplex right now, specifically Dallas County, from near Grapevine down to downtown Dallas, are not severe. They're behaving right now. A lot of cloud-to-ground lightning, heavy rain that could cause street flooding, perhaps some pea to dime size hail, but not larger than that right now. Tyler. Storms approaching Tyler, damaging straight-line winds, could have small dime to quarter-size hail, but the wind, we could have 60 to 70 mile an hour winds with that. Notice that we've got a pretty good cluster of storms lined up behind that. Heavy rainfall could become an issue. A lot of cloud-to-ground lightning, strong winds could cause street flooding. But again, strong winds is going to be the biggest issue with this versus a lot of damaging hail. Could definitely still have small hail, maybe quarter-size hail in spots with that, but that's transitioned over to a strong wind, lightning, heavy rain issue. And then, yes, I have been neglected to mention the Northwest Texas storm. Paducah has had a nasty storm move through. Looks like it tried to weaken going through town, but it may have had hail. Storm moving southeast at about 35 miles an hour. Could have up to tennis ball size hail. All right, we're going to switch this over to meteorologist Jason Cooley for a little while. Let him talk as they're out and about chasing. I'm going to go check on the dog who is whining incessantly and see what sort of expensive device she's broken now. Puppy mode. All right, well, turns out the audio wasn't working, but why would anything really work tonight anyway with me and technology? But that's okie dokie. It gives me something to do in the next few days besides smash technology with the mallet. In case you're wondering what mallet I'm talking about, we're not going to look at that. We're going to look at that mallet. All right. So again, we are dealing with a plethora of thunderstorms this evening across portions of the Arklatex into North Texas, down into Central Texas, and the Hill Country, plus one lonesome storm across Northwest Texas that just moved through Paducah and is otherwise now on its way to pass east of Guthrie in the middle of the country. One storm now southeast of Waxahachie, moving south through Bardwell at about 20 miles an hour towards Blooming Grove, could have quarter to golf ball size hail. We're starting to see a hail core develop with a thunderstorm located over University Park and North Dallas. That is generally progressing off to the east towards south sides of Richardson, northeast Dallas, and Garland. We've got a storm / severe storm located over the city of Tyler. That could have some dime to quarter size hail, winds of 50 to 65 miles per hour. We've got other storms located in eastern North Texas, from Mineola to Grand Saline to Canton to Eustis and Gun Barrel City. Those are not considered severe, but they are capable of producing 40 to 55 mile per hour winds. The potential for P to dime size hail, very heavy rainfall, and a lot of cloud to ground lightning. We've got that severe storm southeast of Waxahachie moving towards Blooming Grove. Further to the south, we've got severe thunderstorms entering the Austin city limits. This storm in Austin has a history of producing tennis ball to softball size hail, though most reports over the last 10 minutes have been closer to quarter to ping pong ball size. And again, that storm is moving southeast at about 20 miles an hour. The potential for quarter to golf ball to perhaps tennis ball size hail in the Austin city limits out to Manor, moving south towards Austin Bergstrom, Garfield, Weberville, Creedmoor, Mustang Ridge, Cedar Creek, and eventually may make its way towards Lockhart in about an hour. And again, hail is occurring with this storm. Probably several $100 million worth of hail damage from Georgetown to Round Rock, now to the north sides of Austin, where we've had anywhere from quarter to softball size hail reported over the last hour. And this thunderstorm continues to move south at 20 miles per hour. Into the Hill Country we go, where no severe thunderstorm warnings are in effect right now, which makes for a happier Baldy-in-Chief. Nevertheless, these storms are producing small hail, gusty winds, a lot of rain, and cloud-to-ground lightning to end all cloud-to-ground lightning days. And again, this does continue to be a destructive hailstorm. Now, in the city of Austin, the potential for quarter to golf ball to tennis ball size hail. This thunderstorm produced baseball to softball sized hail in Georgetown, Round Rock, Pflugerville, and remains capable of producing at least golf ball to tennis ball size hail as it moves south into the city of Austin. The proper terminology for such an event is ouchies. For this will be an ouchies event. This is going to be an expensive ouchies event. Yes, that is a Baldy-in-Chiefism right there. The ouchies hailstorm. There's no other way to describe it. Well, at least on a family-friendly stream, but yeah, not good. And again, this is the most intense storm right now, probably in the state of Texas, and it has certainly caused quite a bit of an issue. Makes me happy. In my morning forecast, I mentioned we could have storms in central Texas earlier in the day, and I'm going to mention that because, well, ouchies. Further to the north, again, supercell now southeast of Waxahachie is weakening that hail core has collapsed quite a bit, which is good news for those folks. We'll switch back over to the super duper awesome blossom. Hey, I can make up weather terminology too, even though I'm not a weather person on TV and don't get NWS chat access, but hey, that's okay. It's not 10 o'clock yet. One rant an hour. We're not there yet. All right, so here's the radar. This is not current. It is. Hold on. Let's just go out east first. All right, so again, Tyler, it's loud, it's proud, it is raining, it is pouring, it may be hailing a bit, and there's probably a lot of wind. Again, this is not a tornadic storm. We're not dealing with tornadic weather. But certainly a storm capable of producing strong winds, quarter-sized hail, very heavy rainfall, and lots of cloud-to-ground lightning. Again, that's why we have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect all the way from near Hawkins to Winona to Lindale. But the strongest part of this storm is right now south of Interstate 20 into the city limits and downtown Tyler, moving east. Southeast at 30 miles per hour. What it's worth, we're also seeing some pretty strong winds down to White House, it looks like. Looks like we've got some tree limbs down. And again, these storms certainly capable of producing strong outflow winds that occur well before arriving at your location or any precipitation begins, before the storm arrives at your location. Obviously, if it's windy where you are, the winds arrived. Hey, just consider it a early gift from Mother Nature. It won't be as hot tomorrow. I think we might have lost the Fort Worth radar. Fort Worth radar appears to have had the ouchies of its own. The last scan I had before data stopped sending indicated the quality filter had gone boop. Cold front? Tomorrow. Might have lost the Fort Worth radar. I would know if I was in NWS chat, but hey, you know what? 10 years of service and... oh well. And okay, so assuming that has in fact gone to the chickens, let's switch radar sources. Storm, again, we're having a look from a radar 100 miles away. Well, I guess technically we don't have to. Let me switch to this. This doesn't do super great with showing hail cores, but it is at least more local. Core over University Park is starting to perk up a bit. This is going to be moving towards Garland, Rowlett. That could have small hail with it, heavy rain, cloud-to-ground lightning, maybe some gusty winds. We've also got heavy rain falling from the southeast side of DFW International through Irving, Copperell Hill, down through South Dallas, almost down to DeSoto. They're on Interstate 20, moving towards Hutchins. All that moving towards eastern half of Dallas County, getting reports of golf ball size hail on the north sides of Austin. All right, real quick, let's take a look at the severe storm that is now well southeast of Paducah, moving towards Knox City, the potential for golf ball size hail. Moving towards Knox City and Rochester over the next hour. Knox City by about 10:40, Rochester about 10:50, and this storm's moving southeast at 40 miles an hour. City of Austin, damaging hailstorm in place. Well, of course it's in place. Damaging hailstorm now in progress. The potential for golf ball to perhaps tennis ball size hail with this storm as it continues moving to the southeast at about 15 to 20 miles an hour. Taking 183 towards Creedmoor, Mustang Ridge. Otherwise, that is the only severe storm we have in the Brazos Valley, Central Texas, or the Hill Country at this time. The only other severe storm, excluding Northwest Texas, is here in East Texas, around Tyler, where we could have quarter-sized hail, winds of 50 to 60 miles an hour, and heavy rainfall, cloud-to-ground lightning. I just got a report from Twitter on Christie from Round Rock. At least golf ball size hail from earlier, multiple car windows broken and house windows broken. Yeah, that's just not good. Unfortunately, this has been a very destructive hailstorm for Georgetown, Round Rock, and now the city of Austin. We've had anywhere from golf ball to softball size hail ride down the interstate. Someone asking how often do we cover Midwest storms? We chase everywhere. We don't chase just in Texas, and that would be the live streaming storm chase slash that aspect on the Texas Storm Chasers YouTube channel. As far as the severe weather coverage, that is solely focused on the state of Texas. That's all we do it for typically. All right, looks like the Fort Worth radar is back up. Here's the latest. Small hail core now approaching Loop 12 northeast Dallas / Garland. Riding up towards Highway 78 and 635. Garland Avenue, Shiloh Road, Kingsley Road. Right now, coming up to 78 in Jupiter there in far northeast Dallas. Dog, I don't care if you got your ball stuck under the entertainment center again. That's your problem. Stop putting it under the entertainment center. Puppy. I will come out there with a squirt bottle. You don't get to come in the office. You come in here, you start chewing on cables, and then I have to buy cables. That's not going to happen. So again, storms, eastern half of Dallas County right now, perking up a bit. Could have maybe some dime-sized hail. 40 to 50 mile an hour winds, a lot of heavy rainfall that could cause street flooding and lightning. Otherwise, main issue we're dealing with at the moment is a hailer in Austin, the potential for golf ball size hail. Hail cores come down a bit. Dog, I swear, if I have to come out there, you're getting a squirt bottle. And again, right now, mostly golf ball size hail with this thunderstorm in the city of Austin, moving southeast at about 20 miles an hour. It keeps fluctuating, but the hail core is starting to build aloft again. So Austin, golf balls, if the core keeps building, it might start dropping tennis balls again in the next 10 minutes. As it moves down 130 towards Niederwald and southeast Austin. Looks like they may have just gotten a tennis ball report. So again, tennis ball size hail possible. Eastern half of Austin, downtown Austin. The tollway, or not the tollway, 183 on the east side of town. This will be crossing 130 at 183 towards Mustang Ridge. I hope it misses the very, 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 very expensive plants and warehouses there. It's making a beeline for Austin Bergstrom, which also qualifies as very, very, very expensive. It's not good to take tennis ball size hail to aluminum / carbon fiber aircraft. All right, dog. I'm getting your ball one more time, and then I'm locking you outside. You can enjoy the backyard. BRB, the dog and I are about to play Whose Ball Is It? Alright, well, the dogs are too smart to go outside now. But on the bright side, they're behaving. As thought. Yet? No. Never mind. Maybe they were behaving. Yeah, if it makes you feel better, we're talking about different dogs. The baby talk dog is the one that sits in here with me all the time. I'm babysitting 2 other dogs right now, and one of them is a puppy who does not know how to behave. Yeah, I'm talking about you. Quit your whining. Quit. Yeah, you don't like spray bottles. All right, so look at this. See? There's the evil monstrosity that likes to get balls stuck under TV entertainment centers and, you know, chew up cords and chew with inflatable hot tub. All right, so again, back to the part y'all care about. Tennis ball size hail reported now in downtown Austin. This storm now mostly east of 35, at least the worst of the hail on 183, about to hit 71, and 183 moving south-southeast at about 20 to 30 miles an hour, maybe 15. Angry hail core moving towards Mustang Ridge remains quite capable of producing damaging hail. Stop! Otherwise, East Texas. The potential for heavy rainfall, small hail, damaging winds of 50 to 60 miles per hour. Those storms moving east-southeast at about 30 miles an hour. Dallas County, storms, heavy rain, small hail, gusty winds. The potential for, again, maybe some small hail, a lot of cloud-to-ground lightning. These are not considered severe at this time. They've been mostly behaving. Back out in northwest Texas, severe storm all out by its lonesome with golf ball-sized hail moving towards Knox City at about 40 miles an hour. It'll be near Knox City by 10:45. O'Brien by about 10:45 if it continues. Rochester about 10:50. Haskell about 11:05. Same thing for Weinart. And that would be entering the northern big country. Otherwise, the only big hailer we're dealing with is this in Austin with tennis ball size hail. Moving south at about 15 miles per hour. For those asking, dog has doggy doors. They're able to go in and out as they please. In fact, they're sitting in here with me now, but this one always wants to play, which is fun in games till you have stuff to do. And you chew up a $600 inflatable hot tub. She's a puppy. She's actually a good dog. They're all good dogs. You just got to learn to take no for no sometimes. Anyway, the storm over east-southeast Austin, moving south at about 20 towards Mustang Ridge, Austin Bergstrom. We've got a report of tennis ball size hail and golf ball size hail in downtown Austin. Hyde Park, about tennis balls. We've got golf balls at 38th in Duval. We've got golf balls at Lamar and Burnett. We had tennis balls near 35 and Runberg Lane. We've had reports of tennis balls a bit earlier up at East Palmer Lane in 35. And Round Rock, we had softballs. So, yeah, this is going to be an expensive hailstorm. We're not worried about tornadoes. Some of these storms are producing damaging winds, but again, the damaging wind issue seems to be confined right now mostly to these storms in East Texas. The potential for 40, 50, 60 mile an hour winds, with these storms moving east now at about 25 miles an hour from near Gilmer all the way to Longview, Kilgore, Overton, White House, Troop, Bullard, Tyler, Chandler. The potential for small hail, at least not as much of a hail issue, but more of a damaging straight line wind issue, a lot of heavy rain, cloud to ground lightning and perhaps some isolated flooding. So be sure to watch for downed trees on roads from those strong winds. In the metroplex, another storm going up over portions of Euless, southwest of DFW. Barely. We've got a storm, maybe some small hail on I-30 about to roll into downtown Dallas, moving east. We've got a storm across Lancaster to Hutchins and Wilmer. That could have small hail moving east. We've got a storm over Corsicana that is moving east-southeast. That could have some small hail with it. Nothing with that is considered severe. To be considered severe, the hail needs to be quarter size or larger, that is 1 inch in diameter, or have winds of 58 mile an hour or higher. Tornadoes obviously also considered severe, but tornadoes get their own special warning because tornadoes. Here's Austin. Hail core reports of up to tennis ball size hail with this, moving towards Austin Bergstrom, Duval. Austin Bergstrom in the next few minutes. It's about to be a very expensive ouchies for the airport. We've had reports up to tennis balls in Austin. That qualifies as an ouchies. We've had softballs earlier from Pflugerville to Round Rock to Georgetown. That qualifies as holy moly guacamole, ouchie, 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 ouchies on the ouchie scale. Yeah, we've reached that point of the evening. Otherwise, that is the general expectation of what we've got going on right now. And again, all this activity is moving to the southeast at about 15 to 30 miles an hour, and that's going to be the name of the game as we continue tonight. And again, you can see we've got some more storms firing up in the southern Concho Valley, the hill country. We're going to have this source of lift overhead most of the night, and the cool front we're watching is still up here, stationary. One front, stationary, across the hill country, North Texas. It's not moving right now. Our actual legit cold front is what sparked this storm in northwest Texas. It's still in West Texas to southern Oklahoma. So we're going to have more storms tonight, probably continue firing across portions of Texoma and North Texas. In fact, you can see that starting to occur now around Durant, Oklahoma. So we're not done with storms in North Texas. That doesn't mean you're guaranteed to get a storm tonight, but we're not done. Metroplex, you're going to keep having storms fire up probably for another 6 hours. They're just going to keep doing what these have done, which is move southeast, and then you get a little break, and then fire up. So that's going to be the name of the game for tonight. What we're going to do now is we're going to take a break from the severe weather coverage. We have no tornado warnings. We have this storm in southeast Austin producing very large hail moving towards Mustang Ridge, Austin Bergstrom International Airport at a relatively slow 15 to 20. And then we've got these storms across East Texas that are capable of producing maybe some dime to quarter-size hail, winds of 60 miles an hour. Again, if we have any new tornado warnings tonight, we're definitely going to be back. Live streaming video from meteorologist Jason Cooley is still up on the Texas Storm Chasers YouTube channel. Should still be on our Facebook. You could tune over and watch that. He's got running commentary. He's been doing some severe weather coverage as well. In the midst of his chase, looks like they're chasing in Dallas now. And again, we'll be posting updates throughout the night, and I wouldn't be shocked if I have to come back on here to do severe weather coverage. But with that being said, actually, you know what? How about this? Instead of leaving, what I'm going to do is let's just plan on doing these scheduled updates. So I'm going to take a bit of a break now, put on some music, and we'll do an update here by 10:45. So we'll do that. That's a good plan. So update by 10:45, sooner if needed. Otherwise, we'll leave the radar up, we'll leave the chat up, we'll put on some music, and we'll keep an eye on things. Alrighty, Heidi, let's get back to it. I'm Texas Storm Chasers Baldy-in-Chief David-Reimer. I'll give you one guess as to why I'm Baldy-in-Chief. Might have something to do with the fact I'm bald. Alright, let's go through what we've got going on. We've got a hailer that just moved through Austin, dropping up to tennis ball size hail. We've probably had $1 billion hailstorm occur from Georgetown, Round Rock, Pflugerville down to Austin over the last 2 hours. We've had softballs from Georgetown to Round Rock to Pflugerville. We know there are a lot of broken windows in both vehicles and structures. Austin's had up to tennis ball size hail. Hail core now near Austin Bergstrom International Airport and Duval. Moving south at about 20 towards Mustang Ridge and Highway 130 and 183. Still moving south at about 20. Big hail. Less of a defined hail core than earlier, though, so hopefully we can start knocking that down to maybe golf balls. East Texas. We're seeing intensification now of thunderstorms from just southeast of Athens to northwest of Frankston to Moore Station up to the city of Tyler. These storms are now starting to show more of a damaging straight line wind signature, in addition to the potential for some dime to quarter size hail. And again, I'm sorry to all those who got hail damage tonight or wind damage, but yeah, there's just not a lot of reports tonight that we had hail go through windows and homes and apartments, and that's just not good. That's why we told folks earlier to get away from windows, because hailstorms of this magnitude definitely have the potential to produce that kind of an impact, and broken flying glass can result in injuries. So again, we're watching this cluster of storms across East Texas now, moving down Highway 175 towards Frankston and Jacksonville, along with Rusk. We could see straight line winds of 60 to 70 miles per hour. Round Rock Police Department just put a statement out reporting they have significant property damage across the city, along with isolated power outages. They're working. Tyler, Noonday, Owentown, all the way up to Longview. Those storms also showing indications of maybe some small hail, damaging straight line winds. And again, these storms, the potential for winds of 50 to 70 miles per hour, maybe some dime to quarter size hail, heavy rainfall and a lot of cloud to ground, lightning. Further west, we have some storms popping up back from Corsicana. That could have small hail moving southeast. Storms in Dallas County. Small hail, heavy rain, lightning, gusty winds. We also note new storms starting to fire up on a front across Texoma, just north of Grayson and Fannin counties. Those storms may intensify and become a bit rowdy as they move southeast. And we've also got a storm that is no longer a storm because it's going near Benjamin and Knox City. That previously could have had baseball-size hail northwest of Paducah, but it is going now. But we may see more storms in North Texas tonight as this cool front moves south. You're asking, what cool front? Cool front across southern Oklahoma that's now progressing to the south. We may see more storms fire up on that through Monday morning. Further south, we've got one severe storm that's southeast of downtown Austin now, but the good news, no, it's not good news. I was looking from a radar 200 miles away when I said I thought it was weakening, which I didn't say out loud, but I said it in my head, but then I said it out loud, so we'll go ahead and just say that all out loud too. You wonder how I can talk to just a camera and about 10 computer monitors most of the day? Here's a hint. I have conversations with myself in my head sometimes. All right. So, severe storm capable of producing some hail near Austin Bergstrom International near Duval. We'll switch to the high-res radar. Now, the good news is now the hail core is coming down. Not seeing a super strong indicator of destructive hail now. We could still have maybe quarter-size hail falling near the airport into Duval, but finally it's weakening. And hopefully it'll stay that way. That being said, we could see more storms this evening fire up, and some of those could also have hail and strong winds. Most storms tonight are not going to be dropping baseball-size hail. Let's make that abundantly clear. But some of these storms probably are going to become severe again. So with that being said, this might be the most intense storm we're looking at in the state now, and that's going to be for damaging winds of 60 to 70 miles an hour. The potential for quarter-size hail on Highway 175. I want to say 79, but it's 175. Northwest of Frankston now, near Point or about 5 miles northwest of Frankston, Moore Station, New York. Not the New York that's dealing with a crime problem, but the New York in East Texas. To Coffee City, we could have some nickel to quarter size hail, winds of 60 to 70 miles an hour. This is a straight line wind situation versus anything tornadic or big time hail. Big old cluster of storms with a lot of wind, heavy rain, lightning, small hail, strong winds. And again, that's going to be the name of the game with these storms. So, they're going to keep moving southeast at about 55 miles an hour. As the wind threats increase with these storms, the forward motions increase too. So, moving southeast at 55 miles an hour means places like Henderson, Jacksonville to Rusk. You're going to have this in the next 30 minutes. Alto, Nacogdoches, Tipson, Center, Carthage, next hour. And again, the potential for 50 to 70 mile an hour winds. Dime to quarter size hail. Sorry, one of those dogs literally has something they should not have. It sounds like a plastic cup, but we don't have plastic cups, so I'm concerned. But with that said, we'll keep an eye on storms this evening and tonight. But again, the Austin storm for now, weakening, finally. Still could have quarter-size hail near the airport. We'll keep an eye out if it re-strengthens. Otherwise, we have these cluster of storms from near Frankston to Moore Station to Tyler to Longview, moving southeast at 55 miles an hour. The potential for 50 to 70 mile an hour winds. Dime to quarter-size hail. Heavy rain. Lots of cloud to ground lightning. And then we're going to have more storms in DFW, North Texas tonight, some of which may be strong to severe at times. So, all right, we'll do the next cut in here at about 11 o'clock. We'll keep the stream up. We'll get the music back on, switch to a regional view. The sounds of destruction are increasing from the dogs, so we are going to expedite this. And then I'm going to go run in there and start squirting people with hoses because apparently we're trying to break stuff. So that's it. We'll see y'all again here in about 20 minutes. It's coming up to 11 o'clock on September 24th, 2023. I'm Texas Storm Chasers Baldy-in-Chief David-Reimer, keeping an eye on the storms this evening. As we come up to 11 o'clock, let's take a look at the time of, or let's take a look what's going on right now, and then we'll take a look at what we expect for the rest of the night. First off, over the last 30 minutes, we've noticed a pretty rapid development of new thunderstorms along a cool front located from near Ringgold and Nakona on the Red River to near Windstar to Pottsboro, Gordonville, Denison, over towards Bennington, Boswell, and Hugo, Oklahoma. You can see that up here on the Red River. Those storms firing off pretty quickly now on the cool front. And that's going to be the round of storms we expect to start moving south this evening and could continue all the way into, frankly, early Monday afternoon across portions of southeast Texas as that cluster moves south. So again, this may be our next round of storms firing up along that cool front as it moves south. Some of those storms have the potential to be severe with large hail and damaging straight-line winds, a lot of lightning, and heavy rainfall. I'm hopeful we don't have any instances of destructive big hail. Well, we'll see. Otherwise, we have scattered storms developing in the metroplex again with lightning, heavy rain, small hail, nothing severe right now. We've got storms in the Arklatex in East Texas from near Atlanta down Highway 59 to Linden, southwest from near Longview, Kilgore, White House to Jacksonville. This storm approaching Palestine to Jacksonville to White House has the potential to produce 70-mile-an-hour winds. The potential for dime to quarter-size hail. Very strong winds, though, the primary threat. The potential for winds over 70 miles per hour with that as it moves south-southeast at 55 miles per hour. Back in central Texas, the thunderstorm, which is a candidate to be a billion-dollar hail disaster from Georgetown, Round Rock, Pflugerville to downtown Austin, has weakened and is no longer capable of producing destructive hail. In fact, it may not be producing hail at all anymore. Just some heavy rainfall, cloud to ground, lightning. Otherwise, scattered thunderstorms continue to develop and move southeast across the Concho Valley, the Hill Country, central Texas, into parts of the Brazos Valley now. Some of these storms do have the potential to pulse up and begin producing quarter-size hail and strong wind gusts at times. Otherwise, a lot of lightning, heavy rainfall, gusty winds, and small hail. Same thing for North Texas. And then we're going to have to see how quickly these storms along this cool front, along the Red River, develop. Those could become strong to severe. What's your deal? Hi. What's your deal? As they move, the line itself will move generally to the south. Some individual storms moving southeast. I don't care if you got your ball stuck under the entertainment center again. You've done that 3 times in the last hour. Maybe you should stop doing that. If you keep whining at me, I'm going to spray you with water because that's what happens to whiners. So she whines some more. Oh, someone's entitled. Anyway, let's take a look at the high-res rapid refresh model or something tonight. First off, we're going to pop the high-res rapid refresh model on to see if it's actually capable of handling the current situation well. It was not earlier, so we didn't use it. But let's see if it's handling things now. And we're going to load for 11 o'clock just to see what's going on. And it's handling things a bit better than earlier, that's for sure. It's generally speaking not doing a horrible job. It's never going to be perfect, but it'll be okay. Here's 1 a.m. We've got scattered showers continuing across East Texas, the Arklatex, parts of Texoma. It doesn't really fire up that line of storms. Here's 3 a.m. You see we've got storms continuing in East Texas. Oh, stop. No. 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 You can come for pets. Come here. And so you decide to bite my hand and run away. You can have pets. Yes, I know. So here's 3 a.m., the potential for these storms to move back southeast, or move southeast. Some of these may still be producing pocket change size hail, strong winds. Here's 5 a.m., same thing. Moving in East Texas, these generally moving to the south-southeast. 7 a.m., run down Interstate 45. 9 a.m., moving into Houston. Still pretty strong looking, could be severe. And then here is 11 a.m., still storming. 1 p.m., storms. 3 p.m., storms. So again, that's just an indicator that we're going to have storms all night and into tomorrow afternoon. Hold on. Oreo! Stop! The noise canceling cancels out the whining, but it was very loud. I'll go get Oreo's toy out from under the entertainment center after I do this video update. Otherwise, I have 2 dogs currently demanding pets. Well, come here. Oreo, come here. Hey, yeah. You're a good girl. Kind of. So, going back to what things look like right now, let me turn off the satellite. Switch back to the nighttime satellite mode. You can see we've got storms popping up. And again, even though the high-res rapid refresh thinks the best chance for storms tonight is going to be across East Texas, we still got storms along I-35 in the Hill Country, the Concho Valley developing, and along the front here in Texoma. So the model I just showed you, remember, models are only good for a few things. Sometimes they're garbage. And entirely plausible, we end up having storms further west than what that model showed overnight, especially if this stuff along the Red River keeps developing. And for what it's worth, we got a pretty healthy storm going up right now in the metroplex. Right over Louisville, shooting off quite a bit of lightning. Hey, radar, are you going to load, or do you just want me to yell at you too? East sides of Louisville, moving towards the Colony. Little hail core right there. Could have some dime-sized hail right off Sam Rayburn Tollway and 121. Moving into... Stop! Hebron. And then eventually Plano. And again, this storm's showing some signs of intensification. If the core keeps developing, I may start producing some nickel-sized hail. We'll see. And again, we're going to keep having pop-up storms all evening. So that's it for your current update. We're going to be here keeping an eye on things. We'll have our next break-in at or by 11:30, sooner if needed. Stop! I have to go crawl under the TV stand now because Dopey Dog doesn't know how to prevent the ball from going under there and then demands utter attention immediately. And then when you don't give it to her, but that's okie dokie. So we'll be back here by 11:30. Y'all enjoy the music. We'll keep an eye on things. David is always lurking. But no, that was actually a convenient stopping point, wasn't it? All right, let's turn my camera on so you can see my ugly mug. It is 11:30 on the 24th of September, 2023. We've got scattered thunderstorms across, well, let's just list hill country, central Texas, north Texas, Texoma, and east Texas. Here in the state, we have really only one little cluster of severe storms we're watching at this point. It's going to be a not-so-little cluster, realistically, leading edge of which extends from Alto to Ricklaw to Henderson, and then a little severe segment near Leah and Smithland about to move to Oil City, Louisiana. The cluster of storms that is severe, quickly making its way southeast at about 55 miles an hour towards Nacogdoches, Garrison, Tenaha, St. Augustine, Brodus, and Zavala. These storms could have localized winds over 60 miles per hour as they move southeast at 55 to 60 miles per hour, and that's probably going to be the way they go until they exit the state and move into Louisiana in the next hour and a half to 2 hours. Back in North Texas, we have new thunderstorms developing quickly along and south of a cool front located in Texoma into North Texas. Notice the storms north of the Red River across southeastern Texas, southeastern Oklahoma have gone severe, and some of those storms are capable of producing golf ball size hail. So far, we have not had a similar result in North Texas, but we can't rule that out over the next couple of hours as these storms fire up near that cool front and eventually begin propagating more quickly to the southeast. These storms may end up being our next cluster that tries to make it southeast and essentially ride Interstate 45 the whole way down to Houston by early tomorrow afternoon. Central Texas, we've got pop-ups again. Some of these storms producing dime-sized hail, localized winds of 45 to 55 miles an hour. It is entirely possible, if not probable, some of these are going to require severe thunderstorm warnings at times tonight with quarter to ping-pong ball-sized hail. Primary storm motion, again, will be to the southeast at 20 to 35 miles per hour. The several $100 million to $1 billion hailstorm supercell that started dropping softballs from Georgetown through Round Rock, Pflugerville, and then tennis balls in Austin has gone bye-bye. So the ouchie scale is no longer required for that storm. Back in the hill country into the southern Concho Valley, storms there are capable of producing dime to nickel-sized hail, winds of 45 to 55 miles an hour as they move southeast at about 25 miles an hour. And for what it's worth, we're probably going to have a severe thunderstorm warning for McLennan County here soon. That's around Waco. Storm southwest side of Waco near Hewitt popping up pretty quick, starting to show a hail core loss, so that may need a severe thunderstorm warning. But again, storms are going to continue all night into Monday morning past sunrise as a cluster of storms makes its way southeast across North Texas, the Brazos Valley, into southeast Texas. Some of those storms producing hail and winds over 60 miles per hour. So expect a lot of lightning. More storms tonight. Not everyone will get wet, but some of you will. And some of you may actually get more than an inch of rain, perhaps even some hail and wind. Plan of attack here is we will be here all night monitoring things, and if need be, we'll come back with severe weather coverage. But for now, we're going to go ahead and let the computers cool off a bit. Let this little office I'm in cool off a bit. It's a wee bit toasty in here. And otherwise, we'll be posting updates all night to the Texas Storm Chasers social media channels. That's on YouTube, Texas Storm Chasers on YouTube, Texas Weather Center on YouTube, Texas Storm Chasers on Facebook, Twitch, X, our mobile app, and our website. So stay weather aware. You can track these storms with the free Texas Storm Chasers Interactive Weather Radar on our website and on our mobile app. We got 2 radars in our mobile app, actually, in addition to local weather forecasts, storm chasing videos, and all that glorious stuff. I'm Texas Storm Chasers Baldy-in-Chief David-Reimer. Thanks for tuning in this evening. I do hope most of you ended up not having hail damage, but we know some of you definitely had a lot of damage from storms tonight, and truly sorry about that. Cool front moving south over the next day or two will bring cooler weather to state, most of the state outside of South Texas. So get ready for highs in the 80s to lower 90s versus triple digits and lower humidity. All right, we'll be around keeping an eye on things. We'll be back if needed, but otherwise, have a good evening and God bless.